even if I did change everything about myself, there would still be people that didn't like it. So why should I hurt myself emotionally and mentally and physically just to get to some standard that doesn't exist here? And that there's not someone that can be that blueprint for, it's not realistic. And I think people have a hard time thinking that, especially with social media. You can never please everyone. And I just hope everyone realizes that. Once you start realizing that at the end of the day, you can't make everyone happy, but you can love yourself and love who you are and be around people who love you, then you're going to be so much less stressed. Hey y'all, it's Addison Rae
and Sheri.
Welcome to our podcast, Mama Knows Best, a Parcast original. Every week, we'll explore the touchy subjects of love, dating, relationships, and growing up.
And I always know best.
Or do you? And just a friendly reminder, you can find episodes of Mama Knows Best for free, exclusively on Spotify.
Remember to follow the podcast so you never miss a brand new episode every week.
Today, we're going to talk about the ups and downs of social media. Definitely a heavy topic overall, but a super important and relevant one. We'll talk about our personal experiences on social media, how we deal with negative comments, and advice on how to overcome them. So let's get into it. At this point, it's honestly so crazy to me how much social media has become part of our everyday life.
So nearly half of the world's population is on social media.
Which is crazy. This world has so many people in it to even think that half is even close to what it is crazy. And I think,
that is crazy.
Yeah. And in turn, that gives lots of different opinions and lots of different point of views. And as much as there is positive and negative, it's the same, with love and hate. And there's going to be people that choose a side and stick with that. I think for me, with social media hate, I've dealt with body shaming a lot here lately. And in the past, probably like 4 months, it's been pretty intense and something we've even talked about off of social media, because it definitely does affect me and it does hurt.
It's hard for me to see that because I am not that kind of person. And I have hopefully taught you not to be that type of person and never to be negative, which I know you're not. You're mainly a positive person. And I'm not sure why people choose to do that behind a screen. So I'm not sure how to react to it because I don't know why people choose that.
Yeah. I mean, just to reference, just for a backstory, if any of you listeners don't know, along with the body shaming, it was kind of including things like, people were like, she's a whale, or like, what happened? Like, she used to be so skinny, or there's a lot of backhanded compliments, which I never even experienced until up until now, social media. And it'll be like people saying, I love how Addison loves her body, even though it's not the ideal body type. And it's like, they're saying they love it and they appreciate that, but it's so backhanded, because
but
it's
also can I say this? Even I struggle through a text message writing something and it come off as something else because it's just written. So there could be a comment that says something and you don't know what the person, how they're saying it. It's such a difference when you're writing something versus saying it. It could have a whole different meaning.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that validates someone's opinion on a body, though. I don't think anyone has the right to look at an image online of someone and rightfully judge the way they look and say, you're not healthy. You don't have the best body. You're a whale. No. You're fat.
I was mainly saying in general, like about comments. In general,
reading, it is definitely hard.
Body type or
for sure.
I think that the comments affect me way less than they affect you.
Yeah, I would have to agree. And I think, whether that be the extent of the comments, in amounts, or even just the smallest things people are critical about on me, do obviously come along with the amounts of people that look at my videos or see me. And I think, you definitely do a better job at it because you are older. You're older than me and I'm young and I'm still impressionable. As a 19-year-old, you're still very impressionable in your college years, and I think a lot of people don't realize that. They're like, okay, she's 19, she's an adult. And I'm like, yeah, but look at college students, And like, I'm not, nothing against college students. I'm saying we're very impressionable at this age. We're still impressionable. We look at things that people say and we take them to heart and we want to change and grow. But like, you've experienced life. You've figured out what you like and don't like. You know those things. And like, yes, style is changing, but people aren't expecting you to be on top of that as they are someone that's my age. Like, they're like, come on, get on top of it. That's not in, come on, be more into the style now or do more, have this body type that everyone likes now. You should have that.
But again, I'll go back to when I was younger, and I wouldn't have changed what anybody thought I needed to change. I would have just been me, and that's it. Like, I don't know that I would have changed it just because someone said it. It would have probably made me want to be me even more.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ashley Flowers, host of a brand new podcast I think you're really going to love. It's called Very Presidential. Every Tuesday through the 2020 election, Very Presidential exposes the most badly behaved presidents in history, serving up an unfiltered, shocking glimpse at what really went on in the White House. We're talking love affairs, all-night ragers, to blackmail schemes and excessive drug use. I am dishing on presidents like Thomas Jefferson, JFK, Tricky Dicky, and more. These dirty little secrets are a lot wilder than anything you learned in history class. And the scariest part is, they're all true. To hear more, follow my new Parcast original, Very Presidential with Ashley Flowers. It's free on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. And remember, you can catch new episodes every Tuesday.
There are some stories that, can always make you smile, and there are good things on the internet. So I think for me, positive things that I've come across on the internet are like, my supporting pages. Those are amazing. These are people that, are inspired by me and love watching what I do and my videos and are just the sweetest people. So I think that's amazing. That's such a good part of social media, that people are so supportive and loving of our family, even. I think that's the best. There are people that don't judge you immediately on, your appearance or even from what they perceive of you on the internet. And those people are amazing and positive influences to everyone else. But what do you think about, the positive sides of social media? What are some pros of social media, if you will?
Yeah, I think that there are some positive things to social media. I think you have to really look at those more and not the bad. Also, it's hard to do that, but when you do see the positive, it's very inspiring and it makes you want to improve and do better. Mm-hmm. So
yeah. And I think too, seeing those positive comments and positive feedback, it also encourages you to continue, you want to continue doing it. But on the flip side of that, there are, there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of negativity in this world. And, there are people that want you to stop doing what you're doing or stop loving what you're doing. And I think, we've both dealt with that, Mom, as, people. And as people that started, living in Louisiana, didn't really have very much knowing of the social media world and how toxic it can be. And I think we've both had, some interesting experiences with that.
So now I think that you're older and you have this platform and you're seeing so many different comments of different positivity and negativity. Do you feel comfortable coming to me and talking to me now, or do you feel the same, or how do you feel?
So in a way, I think I'm more open to talk to you about it in a way because you see it. Like, you see the comments, you see the duets, you see the articles, you see like the body shaming, like you experience that, you see it. But back then you didn't. So it was okay. It was easy for me to hide it from you. Like I wanted to hide that was hurting me in front of you. And I think, like I said, that also comes with, you don't want to disappoint your parents. And I think for me, that was a big thing in my head, was I didn't want to disappoint them and I didn't want them to make them think that I didn't love myself, But now you see those comments every single day. You could find one that, is saying something negative about me and who I am. And I think that does make me almost have to be a little more open with you in a way. And maybe just the person that I am and grew up like, and because I did go through that in middle school and even high school, like people just were very judgmental and hurtful to me. I think I always wanted to keep it to myself because I didn't want to burden you guys with that. And I didn't want to burden anyone with that. I didn't want to go to anyone and tell them that I'm sad because I feel like I'm not good enough. And, because I didn't want to put that on someone else. And I think that was a part of me that just like, it was hard to like figure out how to get past it without talking to you guys about it. And now when you see the comments and you see the videos and you see everything every day, I think it almost forces me to kind of speak to you about it because you see it and you're aware of it and you know it's there. So it's like, that it affects me. I've literally not wanted to eat sometimes because I'm like, people are going to keep saying stuff like, I'm just not going to eat before I film these TikToks so that people don't say that I'm overweight or too big, and it's like that kind of stuff like really is hard because it's like at the end of the day, I sit back and I think about it and I'm like, why would I put myself in a position to be unhealthy like that when, these are just people that don't know what I've either gone through or how I react to that, and I think and some people do know, and I've talked to my friends about it, like my really good friends here, and like I had a conversation the other day with someone and they were like, Addison, there's nothing you need to do. You need to drastically change to make people not say that, because she was like, you're getting to the point, like she was noticing it. She was like, you literally are like, I can tell you're trying to change how much you're eating and when you're eating. And it's like, that could be so bad for you. And like, she wanted to point it out to me before it gets to the point where like, I'm stuck with something that is so long-term and hurtful and damaging. And it's like, it sucks that it's a struggle like that. But I'm lucky that, I have people around me that can recognize it and be like, hey, you're good enough. You're okay.
I'm glad that you have someone that you can talk to, because I know that no matter what, I want you to come to me and I want you to talk to me, but putting myself in your shoes or putting myself as a child, coming to my parent, I know my mom loves me and she's only going to tell me great things. Like I'm not really going to hear it. Whereas I can come to you and you'll tell me these things and you're not going to hear me when I say, don't listen to that. You're beautiful the way you are. Whereas if you have a friend or someone else that you can confide in. So as much as I want you to come to me, I also know that you need to be able to go to someone else.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Because you're never going to hear what I say because I'm your parent and you're going to always say, you're supposed to say that to me. Yeah,
exactly. I love that you have that view.
I already know that. Yeah. Like I know that I can't help the most in those situations. There's no way I can because I'm your parent and you in your mind are going to think, I am just saying that because I'm your parent or I have to say those things. I mean, I know you've said that to me tons of times. Yeah. You have to say that. You're my mom. You love me no matter what. So it's never going to come through the way that I would want it to. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And no matter how bad I want to.
Yeah. And I'm glad you can say that because I've never heard you say that. Like, I just know you've always been like, I want you to come to me or you should come to me. You shouldn't talk to other people about that, but I feel like now you maybe understand a little bit more that I do value your opinion and I love it, but I think it is very biased and it always will be, I'm your kid and that's just how it's going to be. And I think having a friend telling me it is a little more easy to hear because I know that she doesn't have to say it, and a friend doesn't have to be your friend. They can pretend to agree with you on things, but
you also know that I'm not that type of mom or parent that doesn't tell you when you're wrong. So I feel like even though you feel like you can't come to me and because I'm saying things, you know that I will tell you things that you don't want to hear as well.
And I think anyone who's listening and is struggling with the same thing or, with their parents and they're not able to open up to their parents, they're not able to communicate those things. And, I think it's really important that you confide in a friend or a therapist or someone that you can really open up to and not hold these emotions in because it's so damaging mentally to just keep these things inside and never communicate them and get opinions and advice and help on these things. And once you come to terms with it and realize that there are people who love you unconditionally that you can speak to about this, it just makes things so much easier. I think if I hope that anyone takes away something from following me or knowing me or listening to this even, I just hope it's that you always know that your mistakes don't define you. And if you've, changed things about yourself or done different things to please someone, or even reverse, you've done things that you just aren't happy about. And it's never something you should hold yourself to and think that you can't be different from that and you can't change from that and you can't grow and become a better person. So if you've read those comments and you've changed things about yourself and you regret it and you want to be the real you, it's never too late to do that. You can always be who you truly are and who you're happy to be and who you were meant to be. And you don't ever have to let people hold you to your mistakes and things that you've done that you aren't happy of. And you just really remember to love yourself, be happy. You're always going to have another chance to just be better. So take it and be better. And
always another day.
Always another day. We're all learning. We're all growing. There's no perfect blueprint to live life. We all make mistakes. We educate ourselves. We figure out how to handle things the right way. And then we move on and we become better people from that. And I think that's just the most important thing I think everyone should know, especially these past 8 months of my life. 100% have felt the need to be perfect. I felt the pressure. Like I can't mess up. I can't make mistakes. I can't, post a bad photo. Everything has to be perfect. And I think that is why so many people that are in this industry are so, stressed out and just unhealthy. And because you get to the point where you feel like you must please everyone. And I think it's taken me a while to realize it.
Yeah.
But,
and you're very much like that, or your personality type.
Yeah. And it's not that I wouldn't say I'm a people pleaser, but I would say that I want to make everyone happy. And it's not in the sense of where like I'm going to do absolutely everything, like just, cater to everything. But like I definitely want people to feel appreciated and happy and like their opinion is valid. But at times I can't be like that. And I have to realize that some people's opinions just aren't, valid and they aren't meant for me to change myself for them. And I think, at the end of the day, I'm learning and I'm growing. And I think, I just want to encourage you guys to realize that I'm not perfect. Your favorite Instagram model isn't perfect. Your favorite sports player isn't perfect. No one is perfect. So you should always strive to be the best you can be. And at the end of the day, you're surrounded by people you love and you love people around you. That's how we can live. And that's how life is supposed to be. As long as you're happy, you don't have to hold up to anyone's standards. Thank you guys so much for listening. We'll be back next week with hopefully another great episode.
And you can find all episodes of Mama Knows Best for free exclusively on Spotify.
Don't forget to follow the podcast and we'll bring you a brand new episode every week.
And if you like this show, follow @Parcast on Instagram and @Parcast Network on Twitter.
And if you guys have any questions or topics that you guys want us to talk about, you can tweet me @WhoIsAddison or find me on Instagram and DM me @Addison Rae with 2 E's at the end.
Or me @Sheri Nicole on Instagram or @Sheri Nicole with an extra E on the end on Twitter.
Thank you guys again for listening. We love y'all so much. See you next time. Mama Knows Best is a Parcast Studios original. It is executive produced by Max Cutler. Sound designed by Jamie Ryan. It's produced by Kristen Acevedo, John Cohen, and Jonathan Ratliff. Mama Knows Best stars Addison Rae and Sheri Nicole.